The sun dipped low over Oak Island, casting a golden glow across the marshy shores of Smith's Cove. Rick and Marty Laguna stood near the water's edge, their boots sinking slightly into the damp earth. The air buzzed with anticipation as the team's geologist, Terry, examined a water sample under a portable microscope. He looked up, his eyes wide. "There's something in here," he said, voice steady but laced with excitement. "Trace amounts of gold particles." The words hung in the air, and the crew exchanged glances. Gold. After years of digging, drilling, and chasing whispers of treasure, this was a tangible clue. Could this be the moment they'd been waiting for? The discovery sent a ripple of energy through the team. Rick, ever the optimist, crouched beside Terry, peering at the sample. "This changes things," he said, his tone measured but hopeful. Marty, more pragmatic, nodded. "We need to figure out where it's coming from. Let's widen the search." The brothers had been chasing the Oak Island mystery for over a decade, driven by tales of hidden riches buried centuries ago. The island, a small dot off Nova Scotia's coast, had lured treasure hunters for over 200 years with its promise of wealth and secrets. Now, this hint of gold suggested they might be closer than ever. The team gathered around a weathered map spread across a folding table. Dr. Spooner, a water chemistry expert, pointed to a spot west of the garden shaft, a deep excavation site they'd been working on for months. "The gold traces are strongest here," she said, circling an area she and her colleague, Dr. Michel, had nicknamed the Blob. The name drew a chuckle from the crew, but Spooner's expression was serious. "There's a smaller concentration within it. Call it the baby blob. That's where we should focus." The map showed a network of boreholes and shafts, each a testament to years of effort. The baby blob, at roughly 9 to 5 feet deep, seemed to hold promise. Marty clapped his hands. "All right, let's get the drilling rig to borehole DN 11.5. That's our target." The crew sprang into action, the hum of machinery filling the air as the rig was positioned. Charles Borcase, the team's historian, took charge of the operation. His knowledge of the island's past, its cryptic structures and long-lost tunnels, made him invaluable. As the drill bit chewed through the earth, the team watched, tension building with every foot descended. At 78 feet, the drill operator paused, frowning. A grinding noise echoed from the rig. "We've hit something," he said, checking the depth gauge. "Feels like an open space, maybe 1.5 feet wide." The crew crowded around, their breath visible in the chilly evening air. Rick's voice cut through the murmurs. "An open space at 90 feet. That's not natural." Terry, the geologist, nodded. "Could be a void or tunnel. We need a core sample to know more." The drill operator adjusted the equipment, and the team waited, the silence heavy with possibility. When the core sample was pulled up, it revealed chunks of wood, dark and waterlogged. Marty held a piece in his hands, turning it over. "This looks hand-cut," he said, tracing the edges. "Someone was down there, maybe centuries ago." The discovery sparked a flurry of questions. Who had built this? Was it part of a larger structure? The wood was sent to the lab for analysis, and the team turned their attention to the garden shaft, where recent progress had uncovered another clue, a hand-carved wooden ladder, perfectly preserved, descending into a water-filled tunnel. Rick climbed down the shaft, his flashlight cutting through the darkness. The ladder's rungs, worn but sturdy, creaked under his weight. At 40 feet, he paused, running his hand along the wood. "This is old," he called up to Marty. "Really old. Whoever made this knew what they were doing." The ladder suggested intent, a deliberate effort to access something hidden deep below. The brothers speculated. Could this be tied to the gold in the water? Was it a path to the treasure? Back at the surface, the team convened at the Oak Island Interpretive Center, a small building filled with maps, artifacts, and years of research. Emma Culligan, a metal archaeologist, joined them to review the wood sample results. She pushed her glasses up and spread out a report. "The wood dates back at least 200 years, she said. "But here's the kicker. There's gold residue on it. Not much, but it's there." The room erupted in murmurs. Gold on the wood, gold in the water. Patterns were emerging. "We're on the right track," Emma added, her voice calm but confident. The team's excitement grew, but so did their challenges. The garden shaft, now reinforced with wooden beams, was a maze of mud and water. Pumps worked overtime to keep it clear, but progress was slow. Charles, studying old survey notes from Fred Nolan, a legendary Oak Island researcher, pointed to a map. "Fred found a stone formation here on Lot 26, he said, tapping the paper. He called it the quadrilateral. It's not natural, and it's near where we're digging." The team decided to investigate, and Rick, along with team member Peter Romke, set out to explore the site. On Lot 26, they found it, a low stone wall, moss-covered and uneven, stretching across the forest floor. Peter knelt, brushing away dirt. "This looks deliberate," he said, "like someone built it to mark something." Rick nodded, his mind racing. The wall, combined with Nolan's other discoveries, like a massive cross-shaped formation dubbed Nolan's Cross, suggested the island held more than random artifacts. It felt like a puzzle, each piece hinting at a larger design. The team's historian, Charles, dug deeper into Nolan's notes, shared by Fred's son, Tom. Among them was a sketch of an old well, filled with broken pottery, that didn't fit the island's typical landscape. "This well could be a clue," Tom said, his voice tinged with his father's passion. "Dad always thought it was connected to the treasure." The pottery, dated to the 17th century, raised new questions. Was it left by early settlers, pirates, or someone else entirely? As the team pieced together these findings, the island's history came into sharper focus. Oak Island wasn't just a treasure hunt. It was a historical enigma. Legends whispered of the Knights Templar, a medieval order of Christian warriors, hiding their riches here. Artifacts like a lead cross found years earlier fueled speculation. Could the Templars have buried not just gold, but sacred relics like the Holy Grail or the Ark of the Covenant? The ideas seemed far-fetched, yet the evidence, coins, tools, and now gold traces, kept the theory alive. The drilling at borehole Den 11.5 resumed, the rig grinding deeper into the earth. At 88 feet, another anomaly appeared, air bubbles rising through the soil. Terry's eyes lit up. "This could mean a void or a tunnel," he said. "Maybe even a flood tunnel." Flood tunnels, rumored to protect the treasure by flooding shafts with seawater, were a hallmark of Oak Island's mystery. The team collected water samples, hoping for more traces of gold or other clues. To tackle the unstable ground, the team partnered with the Juma Mining Company, experts in deep excavation. The plan was bold: reinforce the garden shaft and nearby boreholes with concrete to prevent collapses and flooding. This could take months, Marty warned, but the crew agreed it was worth the wait. The possibility of uncovering a network of tunnels, perhaps the legendary Money Pit itself, kept them focused. The Money Pit, a site that collapsed in 1861, was at the heart of Oak Island's lore. Stories told of wooden beams vanishing overnight, as if the island itself guarded its secrets. The Lagunas had spent years chasing this pit, finding tantalizing clues but no definitive treasure. The gold in the water, the ladder, the void, all pointed to something hidden deep below. But the island was unforgiving, its ground unstable and its history elusive. As the concrete set in the garden shaft, the team explored other leads. They returned to Nolan's Cross, a massive stone formation that some believe aligned with celestial markers. Tom Nolan shared his father's theory. The cross might point to the treasure's location. Using modern surveying tools, the team mapped its coordinates, cross-referencing them with a baby blob. The data suggested a convergence near the garden shaft, raising hopes that their drilling was on target. The team's archaeologist, Emma, brought in a new tool, ground-penetrating radar. The scans revealed anomalies at 9 to 5 feet, consistent with a man-made structure. "This could be a chamber," she said, pointing to the screen, "or a tunnel connecting to the Money Pit." The team planned 12 more boreholes to map the area, each one a gamble, but also a step closer to answers. One evening, as the crew gathered around a campfire, Rick shared a story from the island's past. In the 1700s, 3 young men reportedly found a depression in the ground, marked by a ship's tackle block hanging from a tree. They dug, uncovering a shaft with wooden platforms every 10 feet. But at 30 feet, water flooded in, halting their efforts. That story, passed down through generations, had sparked the treasure hunt that still consumed the island. "We're not just chasing gold," Rick said, his voice soft. "We're chasing their story, whoever they were." The team's determination grew with each discovery. A coin, dated 1652, surfaced in a nearby dig, its worn surface hinting at Spanish or Portuguese origins. A rusted tool, possibly a pickaxe, was found near the stone wall. Each artifact was a breadcrumb, leading deeper into the island's past. The Lagunas knew the risks. 6 lives had been lost in the treasure hunt over the centuries, but they pressed on, driven by the need to know. As winter approached, the team prepared for a new phase. The Juma Mining Company reported progress on the shaft reinforcements, promising safe access by spring. In the meantime, the team analyzed water samples from the air bubble site. The results were startling. Not only gold but traces of silver and copper, suggesting a mixed cache. "This isn't just a single chest," Marty said, studying the data. "It could be a whole network of deposits." The team's historian, Charles, uncovered another clue in old records, a 19th-century account of a lost tunnel that explorers had found and then mysteriously lost again. The description matched the void at borehole DN 11.5. "If we can find that tunnel," Charles said, "we might find the original money pit." The idea electrified the team. They planned to use sonar to map the underground spaces, hoping to trace the tunnel's path. One morning, as the team surveyed the island, they stumbled across a new find, a small stone marker, etched with a faint symbol resembling a cross. Emma knelt beside it, brushing away dirt. "This looks intentional," she said. "It could be a Templar symbol." The discovery reignited debates about the Knights Templar. Had they sailed to Oak Island in the 1300s, hiding their wealth from persecution? The lead cross, the stone wall, the marker, all seemed to point to something more than a pirate's hoard. The team's next step was to drill at borehole 8.5, where radar had detected another anomaly. As the rig descended, water began rushing into the shaft from the land side, a sign of a flood tunnel. The Juma crew quickly sealed the area, but the incident confirmed their suspicions. The island was engineered to protect its secrets. "Someone went to a lot of trouble," Marty said, shaking his head. This wasn't random. As the team waited for the shafts to be fully stabilized, they explored the island's surface. Near Nolan's Cross, they found a cluster of small stones arranged in a circle. Peter, ever curious, dug beneath them, uncovering a piece of bone, possibly human. The find sent a chill through the crew. Was it a remnant of an ancient burial, a sacrifice, or simply a lost explorer? The bone was sent for analysis, and the team braced for what it might reveal. The Oak Island mystery was more than a treasure hunt. It was a journey into history. Each artifact, from a coin to a ladder, told a story of ambition, secrecy, and perhaps desperation. The Lagunas and their team weren't just digging for gold. They were unearthing the lives of those who came before. The island held their secrets, buried in mud and mystery, waiting to be uncovered. Spring arrived, and the reinforced garden shaft was ready. The team descended, flashlights piercing the dark. At 60 feet, they found another wooden structure, a platform, much like those described in the 1700s. It was intact, its edges worn but deliberate. Rick ran his hand along it, his voice hushed. "This is it," he said. "This is what they found all those years ago." The platform suggested a shaft designed to hide something valuable, perhaps just a few feet deeper. The drilling at borehole 13.5 yielded another surprise, a metal fragment, possibly part of a chest hinge. Emma examined it under a magnifying glass. "This is consistent with 17th-century craftsmanship," she said. The team's excitement was palpable. Were they finally closing in on the money pit? The fragment was sent for testing, and the team planned their next move, a high-resolution sonar scan to map the underground network. As the season progressed, the team uncovered more clues. A ceramic shard, possibly from a Spanish galleon, surfaced near Smith's Cove. A rusted nail, square-cut and ancient, was found in the garden shaft. Each find added weight to the theory that Oak Island was a hiding place for something extraordinary. The Knights Templar theory gained traction, but other possibilities, pirates, early settlers, or even a lost colonial expedition, remained plausible. The team's partnership with the Juma Mining Company proved crucial. The reinforced shafts allowed deeper exploration, and the sonar scans revealed a complex network of tunnels branching from the money pit. One tunnel, running towards Smith's Cove, aligned with the flood system. This was designed to keep people out, Terry said, studying the scans. But we're getting through. One afternoon, as the team drilled near the baby blob, the rig hit another void at 9 to 7 feet. Water samples from the site showed elevated levels of gold, stronger than before. Marty called the crew together. "We're close," he said, his voice steady. "This could be the moment." The team prepared to lower a camera into the void, hoping to catch a glimpse of what lay below. The camera feed flickered to life, revealing a dark, cavernous space. Shapes loomed in the shadows, wooden beams, perhaps part of a chest or a collapsed tunnel. The team leaned closer, their faces lit by the screen. "That's not natural," Emma whispered. The feed cut out, leaving the team in stunned silence. What had they seen? Was it the treasure, or another layer of the island's defenses? As the team planned their next steps, they reflected on their journey. Oak Island was more than a hunt for gold. It was a quest for truth. The artifacts, the tunnels, the stories, they all pointed to a past filled with ambition and secrecy. The Lagunas knew they were part of something bigger, a legacy of explorers stretching back centuries. Each clue brought them closer, not just to treasure, but to understanding who had come to this island and why. The team scheduled a final dig for the season, targeting the void near the baby blob. The Juma crew reinforced the borehole, and the team prepared to descend. Rick stood at the edge, looking out over the island. "We're not just digging for treasure," he said to Marty. "We're digging for answers." Marty nodded, a smile breaking through. "And we're not stopping until we find them." The Oak Island mystery remained unsolved, but the Lagunas were undeterred. The gold, the ladder, the voids, they were pieces of a puzzle that spanned centuries. As the team packed up for the season, they left with renewed hope. The island's secrets were still buried, but they were closer than ever to uncovering them. What lay beneath Oak Island? Only time, and a little more digging, would tell.